Good evening. My name is Karen Cavallero. Most people are aware that autism affects approximately 1 in 80 children in this country. Most people are completely unaware that dyslexia affects 1 in 5 people in this country. I stand before you today as a dyslexia consultant, advocate, tutor, and most importantly, mom. 2 of my children and my husband are among the 1 in 5 people with dyslexia in this country. You probably also do not know that reading ability is not tied to intelligence. Dyslexia is not a vision problem. Dyslexia affects all aspects of a student's core subjects. 80% of special education students are dyslexic. Dyslexia is a federally recognized and funded disability, and yet the majority of students continue to go undiagnosed and never receive services. I'm here in support of this bill because the education system has a long-standing ignorance of what dyslexia is. It sickens me to know that in 1984, Nevada put money and effort into a study on dyslexia and then did nothing with the findings. Nevada has wasted 31 years of knowledge. So here we are today with the poorest graduation rates in the nation and some of the worst reading statistics in the nation as well. We know that graduation rates and juvenile offender rates are directly tied to reading ability. Every high school dropout is estimated to cost the state $60,000, and if current dropout rates continue, the cost to Nevada is $7.9 billion. The state is pouring money into, or millions of money into early literacy interventions through projects like Striving Readers. And do you know what their documented success rate is? 75%. How is it possible that we're spending millions on teacher education and intervention programs and we can only reach 75% of the students? It's simply because we are continuing to ignore the problem of dyslexia, which affects 20% of the students, and we are ignoring what has been known for decades as the best way to teach reading to all students. Statistics show we have made no improvement in reading outcomes in the last 10 years. We're in a time where the state of Nevada cannot afford to not fund this bill. The governor's Read by 3 initiative will fail if we do not address dyslexia. There is no other subject in education under which so much research has been done, so much is known, and yet we continue to ignore the evidence. Let me put it to you this way. Everyone in this room could agree that a doctor not trained in the signs, symptoms, and treatments of diabetes isn't a very good doctor. If the doctor were to tell us, yes, you have diabetes, you just need to try harder to make more insulin, we'd be outraged because science and research tells us that we cannot force our bodies to make more insulin, and yet that is exactly the way dyslexic kids are treated in our education system. Educators tell our kids to just try harder. Congress recognized dyslexia as a learning disability in 1975, and yet to this day, educators, administrators, and superintendents are not educated on what dyslexia even looks like. Congress has formed a bipartisan dyslexia caucus to address this issue. Legislation similar to AB 341 is being passed in states across this nation because parents and educators have had enough of the ignorance. Please join our neighboring states, Arizona and Utah, who just this year have passed similar legislation. If we do not push AB 341 out to a vote for the Assembly, you are ignoring the past 30 years of science and research on reading. You are ignoring 20% of the population. The dyslexic community has been ignored and abused by our education system long enough. This committee needs to make that stop. This is a pay now or pay later situation, and for the last 31 years, the state of Nevada has chosen the pay later scenario, which is directly responsible for some of the poor outcomes we are seeing in this state. Thank you.